Robert was the executive producer alongside me. I launched Unword the board game here in Los Angeles, brought a bunch of people together just to have like this really crazy game night, shot a sizzle reel, some great performers, Brian McKnight Jr., Will Giddings, Claudia Jordan flew in town to host that.
Wait a minute, Real Housewives Claudia Jordan?
Mm-hmm.
We must open up our minds and take a look inside. I bet we find we hold all the answers tonight.
You're watching the award-winning RXG exclusive, hosted by award-winning actor and award-winning filmmaker Robert X. Golphin.
Find we hold all the answers tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am ecstatic over Mr. Ryan Glen, who is an entrepreneur. He is a motivational speaker, and he moves beyond many. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
Oh, just love it. I'm so honored that Mr. Robert X. Golphin, the writer, producer, director, actor, everything, asked me to come in today to speak with you. And when I read your bio, I was like, I could not believe that I'm speaking with you because I want to learn so much from you. I do a little bit of what you do, but not the way you do it. And that's what makes it outstanding. I've just seen so much here. You're raised in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
You had a teacher to tell you that you would never amount to anything. That reminds me of the Biggie Smalls song when he said the same thing that a teacher had said that, yeah. And I'm an educator as well, so I know how words can make an impact, but you did not let that stop you. You allowed that to motivate you. Tell me about that a little bit.
Absolutely. So for me, I'm one of those people where, I'm not a follower. I'm very much so a leader. So, you can't kind of influence me negatively to partake in something I don't want to partake in. And it's the same thing as it relates to negative comments and people who are negative and try to speak negative things over your life. For me, it's literally, okay, you say I can't. Well, watch me do it. Watch me show you I can. And it was that. And even younger, I always had like this supernatural drive to just be great at whatever it was, I'd done or wanted to do. My goals and dreams. I never thought like it was something that I could never do. It was just, for me, it's just a matter of how to do it and when to get it done.
Oh, that's excellent because, one of my mottos is let your haters be your motivators.
Yes.
You just work a little harder or either go around them.
Mm-hmm.
It builds your foundation for being great, which you are. It says that your presentations are engaging and you're involved in educational entertainment as well. And I like these three words: ignites, unites, and delights.
Mm-hmm.
How do you put all the three of those together?
I did an interview actually sometime last year, and the host who did the interview put that together for her show, and I thought it was kind of funny.
I love it.
Yeah, it's just a matter of honestly me just being who I am, and thank God people have been blessed to see those adjectives as a part of my story. But I'm just me. I'm just Ryan. Honestly, at the end of the day, I just take me everywhere I go. It doesn't matter if I'm in the White House, if I'm in the in a school, if I'm at church, wherever. I just take me wherever I go, and I think that's such an important part of entertainment and being an entertainer who is authentically themselves and not trying to put on for the camera or trying to put on for social media or trying to put on for the people around them in their corners. I'm always me. Take it or leave it. What you see is what you get.
Wonderful. Being real. And when you're sincere, you come across much more effective than when you're not trying to be, who you really are. So tell me about the White House adventure. I thought that was interesting as well. How did you land that gig?
Well, yeah, it wasn't a gig. So honestly, with me creating Unword and Unword doing really well in schools across the US and China, the Impact 100 actually contacted me and asked me to apply in their Impact 100. They do 100 top entrepreneurs in the country and under 30. And they asked me to be a part of it. And so I applied and then I won. And the next thing I know, I got a thing from them saying, hey, you've been selected to be one of our top entrepreneurs. And we want you to be honored. And we're actually doing it at the White House. So that's how that happened.
Tell me all about Unword and Word Palooza.
Yeah, absolutely. So Word Palooza and Unword are two of my word game apps. Unword, similar in gameplay, but a little different. And it's so funny because no one's asked me about Word Palooza in a long time. Unword is my most popular game. That's the one people kind of recognize me by. And Unword is basically a word game that gives you 60 seconds and a word, and you can play with whoever you want to play with, but you guys both have 60 seconds to create as many words using the letters in whatever word it gives you. So see who's the smartest wordy. So yeah, and then our 10th year anniversary was in 2021. So to celebrate that, and by 10th year anniversary, I mean 10th year anniversary of the app being created, the launch date for the app. And so to celebrate that, I was thinking, what can I create to sort of come up with something that's really exciting, that the fans of the game will love, just like a different version of it. And so I was thinking, do I re-release the app and something like that? But then I just got this idea to do a game board, and Unword the game board came from that. I actually have it right here if you haven't seen it.
Oh, but, wow.
This is actually in the packaging. This is the packaging, but this is Unword, the game board. Yeah. So launched that last year at a launch party here in Los Angeles. And, it's done pretty well. And yeah, we're moving on to bigger and better things.
Would you please tell me about the event that you had in regards to the board game?
Absolutely. So Robert and myself, Robert was the executive producer and co-producer alongside me. My co-producer, Robert X. Golphin, for everything I couldn't do this event without him, honestly. I launched Unword the board game. So we created this venue here in Los Angeles and hired a brand strategist and publicist and just brought a bunch of people together who are in the business doing their thing, but just to have like this really crazy game night. I also shot a sizzle reel for the game show. And my really good friend Claudia Jordan flew in town to host that, which was
Wait a minute, Real Housewives Claudia Jordan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's who I saw in the video. Oh yeah, cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The amazing Claudia Jordan. She was incredible. She was born for this. She was born to be a host. Claudia is a really good friend of mine and super supportive for anything entrepreneurial and she's just one of those good people. So she came in and shot that with me, and we had such a really good time. We spent maybe about 5 hours just having a good time, listening to good music. We had Brian McKnight Jr., Will Giddings. We had some great performers, some great music, great, amazing food. We had one of LA's best chefs on the grill, and just such a good time. And I want to do more of these events. I want to do more Hollywood events where by Hollywood, I mean inviting Hollywood to game night. Mm-hmm. And it's time to do another one, actually.
Okay. Well, you got to branch out. You got to come to North Carolina. I know the perfect place for you to have it.
Let's do it.
Let's make that connection.
Absolutely. I'm ready.
I'm very interested in knowing, how do you get this game? Because I think vocabulary is it. That's your foundation for reading, understanding, writing, and I want to play it. So how can I let other people know about this wonderful tool?
Yeah, so the game Unword is available at unwordthegame.com. I'm currently still in talks with a couple big distributors to get it in some of the stores. But yeah, in the meantime, it can be purchased at unwordthegame.com.
Okay. And I noticed that Kim Whitley was one of the first people to buy it. She's my Sarah, Delta Sigma Theta, yay.
Absolutely.
And Kevin Hart, Raven Simone, I met her. She's really cool.
Mhm.
So you really have it out there.
Yeah, the people have been supportive, and I'm so grateful for that. Yeah, Kim Whitley was the very first person in the world to download the app,
Mm-hmm.
and every time I see her, we talk about that. And yeah, a lot of people have the app or the board game. I know Kevin Hart has the board game,
Mm-hmm.
and Oprah Winfrey, Dr. Phil, and his wife.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, so we've been blessed to be able to have a few very influential people support, and it obviously means the entire world to me.
What in the world is it like being an entrepreneur? What has kept you going? What has motivated you at this point? Now that you have a product out there, you've had it out there for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
What has sustained you?
Mm-hmm. Passion. My passion is what sustains me, because you have good days and bad days. Sometimes you have good months and bad months, good years and bad years. But honestly, my passion is what sustains me. I do what I want to do. I do what I feel I should be doing. And so that keeps it alive. It keeps me going. And then just the love of being creative, that creative power that you can come up with something in here, as I always say, and then bring it to the
Mm-hmm.
world. For me, it's the thrill that drives me, and just doing what I love to do, being creative and creating something that I know people will really enjoy.
Well. I love that. So tell me about your novel, Abused by the Thought of Leaving. Tell me
Mm-hmm.
about your novel. I mean, you really have it going on here. You have so many creative talents. I'm interested in everything that you have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Abused by the Thought of Leaving tells the story of Winter Mildred. She is an abuse victim who has become immune to the verbal, physical, and mental abuse. But it's the thought of leaving her that abuses her most and kind of keeps her in that relationship. And it tells you her story of survival, her story of uh, contemplating suicide. The book starts off where she escaped her husband, and unfortunately, he followed her on his with a tracking device. He was able to track her cell phone and find where she was, and found her, and she just finds herself back in this world of abuse. And it just takes you through the many emotions that survivors and abuse victims have felt and feel. And it takes you through the journey. I mean, you really get in there with the character. You feel for the character. You understand the character when you read the book, and it puts you on a wild journey. And Abused by the Thought of Leaving is one of those books where it just will inspire you, no matter if your situation is abusive relationship. You could be at a job that's holding you back. You could be dealing with friends that you should no longer be connected to, or just in a place in your life where you just want to move out from where you are and go to the next step. This is here to inspire everybody.
Oh, wow. So I like that word inspire, because
Mm-hmm.
it's so much pain in this, but something in there, is something that someone can take out of it to improve, or to say that there's a way out of it.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That was the point.
And so that means you're going to have a movie to go with it pretty soon then,
Mm-hmm.
huh? Is
We
that a
want-
possibility?
Absolutely. Yeah, I actually just pitched a TV show to create a series around the book.
Wow.
So I'm really excited about that.
That sounds interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Have you contacted Tyler Perry?
I have not contacted Tyler Perry, no.
Okay. You kind of look like him just a little bit. Anybody ever told you that?
People used to tell me that for a very small space in time, but during that window, they used to tell me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't hear that at all anymore. So it's funny you say that. I don't think I look at all, but I've heard that before.
Okay. Tell me about Young Faces Smiling.
Young Faces Smiling is an organization that I was so honored to be a part of early on when I launched Onward, the app. And Young Faces Smiling is a program or a school located in Harlem where they take curriculum from everyday life stories. So for instance, or they take news stories and everyday life stories and turn it into curriculum, I should say. So for instance, say so who just Beyonce not long ago put out an album, so they could say, "Hey, Beyonce sold 1 million albums the first week. Her goal was to sell 1.5 million. What's the difference between what she sold and what she wanted to sell?" So that's a subtraction problem
Oh,
right there.
yes.
So people who may not be interested in Little Johnny sold 30,000 apples and maybe not numbers that big for the type of problem, but they may not be interested in Little Johnny. But all of a sudden, when you say a Beyonce or a Usher or a Justin Timberlake or any of these big names that they're fans of, then all of a sudden now I'm interested in learning. I'm interested in math. I'm interested in English. And so it's such a brilliant, genius way to bring these young minds to focus more on education. And so that's what Young Faces Smiling is all about. And I was so happy to be a part of them. I don't work with them as much anymore, but yeah, I'm always here to support them.
Well, that's interesting that you say that because I'm an English teacher. And last week, out of the blue, I said, okay, we're getting ready to take our state end of grade tests. Okay.
Okay.
So I said, let me write some sentences with my students' names in them in the class where they have to pick out certain things, like is this a parody or or a poem. I'll put their name in a poem to make it customized and make it connectable, pretty much like what you were saying.
Absolutely.
And I just watched them, and to see their faces light up, you could tell they were interested, and they were like, "Oh, that's my name." They had a part in this.
Right.
It does make a difference. So I do really do applaud you for doing that. And when I saw that it worked, I was just so excited that now I want to write a workbook that will do that throughout the workbook and make it so that people can adapt it to their classroom, because you got to get the interest there. That is the most important thing.
Absolutely.
You have to do that. They want to learn. It's not so hard once they want to learn.
You have to get on word for your classroom for sure, because it does a lot of that.
I think I want to let the district know about it.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
I'm excited. I want to know myself. So tell me about your spot now, Switzerland. Yeah. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so Switzerland is just one of those places where I love to travel. It's my favorite place to go. I go in the summertime and the wintertime just to get away. It's just like a make-believe world. When Tina Turner first moved out there, I always wonder, like, why would she become a citizen of Switzerland? Like, what's the significance of Switzerland? But when you go for the first time, you get it. Like, I get it now. Like, absolutely. What a smart move. It's just a beautiful, beautiful country.
Okay. So what is the food like and what is the entertainment like? Because you're the first person, you mentioned Tina Turner. I forgot that she's over there, but you're the first person that I know of that gives it props. I mean, I haven't heard anything negative, but to say this is one of your favorite places, give me a little more information on that.
Yeah, so it's just a world of beauty. The Swiss Alps, the French Alps. I've gone to Lauterbrunnen, just one of the most picture perfect storybook places you could ever imagine. I don't go to a lot of partying when I'm on vacation, but they like to party in Switzerland, and it's a wide range of people. You see whites, you see blacks, you see different races of people, and it's just a good time. The food, however, when it comes to Switzerland, I haven't found the best restaurant yet. If people keep telling me they're out there, even in Paris, there's so many people that's like, the food is amazing in Paris, and no knocks to Paris, but every time I go to Paris, I must always go to the wrong restaurant. So I'm still trying to find the best places to go food-wise in Switzerland, but I find them. I will let you know, but everything else is A+.
But see, now I want to go, but I'm going to wait until you tell me about the food, because I don't want to be over there losing 20 pounds because the food is not good. So I'm going to wait until you investigate and let me know. And yes. I want to applaud you as well. I'm going back to the words that the educator made to you, and you went on to earn 3 degrees.
I did. Yes, I do. I have 3 degrees.
And how did you decide on your major?
Well, in my undergrad, I thought I wanted to become a doctor by way of being a nurse first, and then nurse anesthetist, and then and sort of just or physician assistant, either avenue, and become a doctor. So I started to do that, and then while I was in undergrad, my entrepreneurship endeavors started to really pick up. And I moved to Boston for a period of time. I was in Chicago, I was in Maine for a little bit, and I was all over the place. And then my mom, she's always told me, like, you need to go to business school. I don't know why you're doing all of this medical stuff. This isn't what you really want to do. You're an entrepreneur, you're a businessman. You know how to write contracts and be all a part of that. Like when you were a kid, you used to make fake contracts up and get us to sign them as your clients. So she said, this is what you want to do. And she was right. And so I got my undergrad just to finish because I actually left school as a senior, and that's when I moved to Boston. And I was away for a while, just working on doing different assignments. But when I came back to school, I finished up and went right to grad school and got my EMBA, which is Executive Masters of Business Administration, which is very much so aligned with the work that I do now.
That is wonderful. So you
And
have
then
something to,
I feel like with education, with degrees, it is something that people cannot take from us. And so as a young Black man, for me, it's so important just to get to have as much ownership of whatever it is that I can. And as it related to my 3 degrees, for me, it was like, with each one, it's something that can't be taken from me. And so it just gave me a sense of power, just knowing that, this was something I worked so hard for on my own, and I have it still to prove to myself that I can do anything. When I was in college, I was also traveling a lot. So it was very difficult to be here and fly back in town for an exam or try to work something out where I can do, it was not easy, but definitely super proud of myself in that, and knowing that at the end of the day, the sacrifice was definitely worth it.
oh wow. I just really want more. You really have been in a lot of different places. And the Oprah Winfrey Network, the USA Today,
Mhm.
Forbes.
Mhm.
Wow. We need to see more of you
Mhm.
because our children nowadays, they need to see more of you.
Thank
There's
you.
so much evil out there. There's so much mis- misinformation,
Mhm.
and you're successful, and you've had challenges, and that's another thing. They need to know how to get through challenges.
Mhm.
They give up easily, but when you say education is something that no one can take from you, more people need to hear that.
I agree.
Yeah, you're just one in a million.
Mhm.
And I just look forward to much more from you. I mean, you really need to get on these talk shows. I want to
Mhm.
see your book
I'm
turn
ready.
into a
I need
movie.
more of them to call me.
Hmm?
I said, I'm ready. I just need more of them to call me. Let me
Okay.
know.
We're
I'm
going to have
ready.
to, Robert has connections. So we're going to have to try to work this out and work on this a little bit harder because you deserve it. I just admire you so much. There are
You.
not a lot of people around like you. So when you go out and do your motivational speaking, how does someone contact you? Um, what kind of speeches do you do? Do you tailor make it to whatever they're trying to get across to the kids? Do you involve the kids when you're speaking as well? What is your process?
Yeah, so for me, it just depends on what type of keynote I'm doing. So if I'm at a university, I'll tailor it to that university and that body of students. If it's a business extravaganza or entrepreneurship, it's tailored to that. Or if I'm speaking to adults, I may do a workshop where I'm speaking to a bunch of entertainers. So obviously, I tailor it for them. But a lot of times it's just me talking about my life and talking about, some of the things that I've been blessed to be able to do in my life and career, and how I did it. When I talk to entertainers, is usually how to make a brand. You know, a lot of celebrities have this big name. Some of them have brands, but a lot of them don't know what to do with the name to make it a brand. You know, what do I do to make myself a brand? And so that's when I come in and say, okay, well, hey, you need to do this, or let's focus on this. Maybe get away from the music if you're an artist, and try to come in this direction. And then maybe you can pull that back into the music if that's what you want to do. But I try to just make people, help people make wise business and financial decisions as it relates to their careers. And when I do my keynotes, a lot of times I'm talking about stuff like that, or just some of the experiences I've had as an entrepreneur, some of the experiences I've had as a Black entrepreneur. They're two different things. Um, oh man, two different things indeed. But I talk about that a lot, and just inspiring people to never give up. I always say nothing's impossible when you're unstoppable, one of the phrases I coined. And I live by that. So it's important that, you know, you inspire other people to do the same things. You know, it gets very difficult out here. We don't always get the funding we want as entrepreneurs, the funding we need. So, hey, what do? We work a 9 to 5, we save our money. We put our own money into it, whatever we have to do until we can get to a place where we are fully living in our dreams and passions the way we want to, you know, unapologetically.
So you believe in investing in yourself?
1,000,000%. If you don't invest in you, who's going to?
Exactly. So have you been back to Kent State University?
I have. They invite me back for things. I've spoken there, of course, done keynotes. I go to different events they invite me to when I'm home and I can, or if I can, I'll go in town to support. But yeah, I love Kent.
Question. What's next? What is next?
So for me right now, I am working in TV production, which is new for me because, you know, my background is entertainment and entrepreneurship. But now I'm focused on, you know, getting some of my projects on the air. And so that's been really exciting and really new. It's not like anything I've ever done. But business is business. And when you know how to conduct business as a businessman, I mean, you just move from one thing to the next, but that's the area I'm in now. So I really want to do make some magic in that area, and more entrepreneurial endeavors, create more products. I have a waffle line called Uncle Rai waffles that I want to launch soon. And I'm always busy working.
Waffles as in pancake waffles? Okay, so you want your brand to be in the store so I can go and buy it and make it at home?
1,000,000%. And let me tell you something. Once you taste it and purchase it and taste it and all of that, it'll be the waffles you'll be buying for the rest of your life. I guarantee you that.
Okay, so you got to send me some. I want some. When I went out to LA, I went to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, and that was awesome. But you're better than that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my waffles are better than Roscoe's. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna wait on you now. I want you to send it to me. We're gonna get our contact information together. But let me tell you that
Robert's had them. He can tell you.
He has? Okay, that's great. I can't wait. See, now I want chicken and waffles. I haven't eaten my dinner yet. Now that's what I want. Well, thank you again for all of your knowledge, for all of your steadfast determination to continue growing, producing, writing, educating. Everything that you do is just totally outstanding, fantastic. You are a role model for me. Not to stay in my shell, but to get out and try a little more. And I'll be waiting for my waffle mix. Thank you.
Absolutely. I will get you that. And thank you so much for your kind words. I really appreciate it. And that's the whole point. That's why we do what we do, to not live out our dreams and passions, but to inspire other people to do the same. So for me, it's so important that with everything I do, I create an opportunity for somebody else to be able to do it alongside me, not even behind me, but alongside me. And so I feel like that's, the beauty in life, to be able to inspire and be inspired, and to do as much as we can towards the things that we hope and dream, to bring to fruition. So it's so important. So I thank you for saying that. That means a lot. And we'll continue to do what we do.
Wonderful. I'm even going to show this to my students. Yeah. We got to keep it going some kind of way. Stay in
Thank
touch
you.
and take care. God
Absolutely.
bless.
Thank you. Same to you. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Make sure to like, comment, and hit subscribe on our YouTube channel so you never miss out. RXG Exclusives, hosted by Robert X. Golphin, now playing.